Raiders, welcome to another video. All right, so Grim Forest was a bear for me. I really struggled with it when it first came out, but now for the last 2 times, I am in fact conquering Grim Forest. And I'm going to show you how to do so also. Remember, my account is 6 months or so in. Actually, let's take a quick moment and we can actually double check. Daily login. We are at day 178. So 30 times 6 is 180, so we're about 6 months in, right? We're about to get our second Sill of the Drakes because I've got a Sill already, but whatever. Dupe legendary, good times. With our 6 month in account, we are clearing Grim Forest twice in a row. I'm going to show you what the strategy is so you can do it too. You can see I haven't done the hard mode Grim Forest. I just beat the final boss of Grim Forest earlier today. So Grim Forest opens up again. Let's say Grim Forest opens or you're still working on it. You've got a week and 6 days. You should have plenty of time to complete it. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go around and open every path you can. Don't, for the first couple days, bother doing anything. Open up the free and empty paths. Good? Once you've opened up all the paths, you're looking for these. You're looking for the little level 160 nodes. You're looking for a 160 node, you're looking for a 160 node, and then you'll happily do some 175 nodes. 175 nodes are not much harder. Um, and once you've cleared, you clear all of them. You don't look at the 200s, you ignore the 200s. Hear me say that. Don't fight the 200s, don't fight the 225s, assuming you're early account like I am. You're going to rock all of these little cheapies and collect as many different chests as you can. You're going to say, oh, look, oh, did I not beat this one? The hell? I clearly beat it, but I've got no team. That's strange. I don't know why that's showing, but whatever. I clearly beat it, so yeah, this one will show. Maybe I'll just go beat the other one. Maybe I'll get the reward again. You just use whatever basic team you can of your best heroes. You'll note that this is Fusion. I spent the money for Predator. Free champion, and really, really, really lucky pull, right? It doesn't matter what you have as long as you have some decent champions. You should be able to clear all of these. The 200s start to get harder. The 200s have these. The 200s tend to have a mythical, an extremely powerful mythical champion that acts as a boss on the final level, so you want to wait to get to them. Now, as you're clearing all these nodes, right? You can start to pick up your vendor stuff. You can just start to like boost yourself, give yourself your little boosts. Cool. As you get yourself your little boosts, you're also going to be gaining levels. And that's what's really important here. That's what allows everything to really come together. These are nice. The curios are nice. I'll show you what curios I ended up using. But what you want is the trait cards. And hey, trait card friends, your priorities should be obvious. You want speed. You should have 100% crit rate on everyone. Don't focus on crit rate. You want speed. You want accuracy. You want ignore defense. You want crit damage. Anything else is nice. I tend to take defense over attack because I use Leonardo and Newt an awful lot, but that's what you're doing. You're trying to build toward those, and as you get more stats, the harder levels start to become easier. So eventually, you're going to clear all the 175s, then you're going to do the 200s, right? You're going to be able to, why did these not show up? Apparently, I can beat this guy again did I get all the rewards? I have all the rewards, so who cares? I didn't realize that we could fight them again, but sure, here we are. So you're going to go through and beat them all. And I'm going to show you the teams I'm using for the harder things. I don't know why. It just doesn't show the teams for these. But whatever. I beat them. You can see the little check next to them. So we're going to beat as many of these teams as possible. Apparently, we're just literally not going to show any teams. Have fun. Thanks so much, Raid Shadow Legends, for that. All right, so we beat all the teams. Now, we're, again, not touching any of the 225s until we finish the 200s. Once we finish the 200s, we should be high enough level to fight the 225s and the 250s. Now, fair warning, this fight is nearly freaking impossible. This is the fight that absolutely crushes me. Marichka's a beast. She's one of the best champions in the game. She gives her team speed. She's filling turn meter. Talus is always going to join her attack, and Talus does amazing, amazing damage. She's going to heal and get shields. She's going to revive all dead allies when she's healed, but that doesn't matter because when she's dead, the battle's over. You're going to need to kill Taris the Fierce first, because Taris the Fierce is straight up, even at max everything else, one-shotting my team. And anytime you attack Marichka until he's dead, he's getting one shot. So you want to make sure you get through him. You want to make sure you're getting through all the heals and block debuffs. It's a giant pain in the butt. Helios gathering a bunch of defense and attacking as a team, and then Quintus is, again, a ton of damage. These are just a ton of damage dealing champions. You have to clear them before you kill Mariska. This one, both times I've cleared it, has been the last team I use. And I'm going to tell you straight up, if you have our friend Basim, he was amazing because turning off everyone's active skills was great. What I ended up doing was I tried to CC Terrace. I used Predator and I used Michelangelo. Both have a stun, and I kept Terrace stunned as I killed all the rest of the team. And then I killed Terrace, and then I killed Mariska, and I barely got there with like a just barely alive single champion. But that is going to be the hard one. Now, you're finally done with them. You're on to the bosses. Now I'm going to take you through the bosses, what team I used, what guide. So the hardest boss for me is always Drognell. Drognell is a giant pain in the butt. Drognell has provoke on the A1 for all enemies. That's a pain in the butt. He also has a freeze on his passive. Um, it's a freeze on his third attack. Cool. Whenever he's attacked, he also has a 40% chance of a freeze on the attacker. And he slows down the speed. So all of that is a giant pain in the butt. So you need to be able to remove debuff in order to fight Drognell. You also need to be able to reflect damage. You need to be able to, keep burn up to reflect damage. Now, I used our friend, what is homeboy's name? I always forget his name. Mausoleum Mage. Mausoleum Mage, take a look at him quickly. Mausoleum Mage was absolutely ridiculous. I didn't even have him in my team, just for the record. Moz. I didn't even have him in my team. I had to use the arena thing and then flip tokens until I got him in. He's not even like fully built out. He's built enough to be decent. But what he does have is a block debuffs that I can put up right away. I put up the block debuffs and the 60% increase defense, and I was good to go. I got that up twice, and it was enough to really hold the enemy off. It stopped all the freezes, obviously. It's only a one turn, so it's not like amazing. But I was able to stop all the freezes, and I was able to stop all the provokes, or most of the provokes. From there, I just used a couple burners. I have Cassandra. Cassandra's a really solid burner, right? Cassandra. Here, Cassie. Cassandra burns the crap out of things. I gotta go over here. So filter. Cass. Cass has one burn attack, and I have her in some lovely merciless gear because I'm a jerk. But Cassandra has one burn attack, and it's one of the hardest hitting burns around. Before attacking, plays a 60% decreased defense, debuff, and HP burn on target for 3 turns. It's a real long burn. It can also stun, but stun doesn't work here. And we don't have the veil or perfect veil. It doesn't matter. We're just getting a stun. The other thing she's offering is a 19% speed lead. We're not sad. And we have Brimstone, and the Spite is really, really good damage in this battle too. So we have those three. The most important champion you could possibly have for this outside of a block debuff, whoever you have for block debuff is fine. Again, I showed you mine is probably the weakest block debuff. I didn't realize I didn't have a block debuff champion. That's really good. I need to build another. So that'll be my next thing I build. But for now, we also have Geo. Geo obviously has the fully depletes target's turn meter, fills champion's turn meter by the amount the target loses, and the big burn and weaken. This dude hits hard, and now he's doing that damage himself. He's doing the smite damage to himself, and he's taking the big burn damage. Works great. The final champion that was really, really helpful for me was, of course, our friend. This recent fusion, whose name is now going to escape me. Hi, Chu. This recent fusion, I used Yukamasa. Yukamasa's passive was amazing. Whenever he gets frozen, he just immediately attacks. Cool. He gets a 50% turn meter whenever he skips a turn, and then he gets a bunch of ignore defense, and he auto attacks with his A1 whenever he skips a turn, which is all really nice. And then when he gets a new turn, he's ignoring 50% defense, so he deals a ton of damage. If you have any freezer, any freeze resist, that's fine. There is armor for this if you really, really need it, but you're just going to get provoked, so I don't care about it. And then Leo's here. Leo's nothing. Leo is just a decent attacker. He does some good damage, and I wanted someone that would just hit a lot. He has a good counterattack, so when he uses his A2, as long as he's not provoked, he's just going to do some good damage. You could use whatever big damage dealer you want there. I had actually planned to use Newt, and then I didn't really get Newt. I got these champions, so I used them instead. Worked out fine for me. But note that the real keys to this are you need a backup burner anyone will do. I had Tunisia here as well. I decided to use the speed lead. I think a speed lead is important. You want to be able to go as much as possible. If you have Geomancer and it's simple, cheap debuffer like Mausoleum Mage, as long as you've cleared everything else out, you should be good. That is going to be our keys to beating Drognell. Let me figure out where the others of our friends are, the other bosses are. 300 is what we're looking for, right? I thought there was one down here. Was that the first time through? You gotta wait for me to scroll. Sorry. All right, next one. This is the easiest of the bosses, always for me. You just need a you cannot heal friend, right? This is Isheth, who is the one I start with. This is going to increase duration of um this is going to basically heal. She's like her big thing is she heals. She increases duration of all buffs. She heals. She heals. She has a seal and block passive skills for enemies, which is annoying for turtles if you're using them. But she heals. She heals. She heals. She heals. Um, she increases the buffs. She heals. Guess what? And her allies immune to damage based on max HP. Just doesn't take that damage at all. So and she's dealing pure damage, which means her damage isn't going to be reduced. Can't be crit, but it's not going to reduce either. Everyone has the same awakening thing. She's immune to speed and turn meter, and she's really, really strong against burn. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of the heal. We want to get rid of the heal, and then we want to hit her freaking hard. Cool. Venomage is the champion you're really looking for here. Some destroy gear really helps too because everything she does is based on max HP, right? So Venomage is really great here. What does Venomage do? Venomage on her A3 attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing 100% heal reduction for 3 turns. Keep that up, win game. It's not brain surgery. Venomage does this, plenty of other champions do. Venomage being an epic and easy to come by is my favorite. You need a heal reduction champion for this battle to happen. You Unless you can nuke her down in one turn, you're going to need heal reduction because she's going to heal to max every turn. Venomage also has that abundant fit of anyone who's under heal reduction deals 15 less damage, and she's just got a decent little decrease attack, decrease defense. She's got a decent little heal reduction, and she destroys max HP if they're under heal reduction. That's really nice. We're using that to our advantage since she's a max HP champion. I also put my Shredder in destroy gear. Shredder has each critical hit destroys the enemy's defense, so weakens the defense, and I get more max HP. But Shredder, in addition to destroying their defense, is going to be we in gear. We have Zeal because I have a billion hit points on Shredder, or as many as I can get on Shredder. I need every 3. Okay. And then we just have the destroy set, and we're just gonna do that extra damage. I need to finish Shredder's gear. We'll finish Shredder's gear in the next gear enhancement. You gotta be patient for these things. Otherwise you mess up gear enhancements during like I'm only really enhancing gear unless like there's a really really good reason during fusions. I just save up everything for fusions and get fusions. But Shredder, some destroy gear, and Venomage. It's like anyone with some destroy gear and or destroy max HP and Venomage, and then you do it with damage. I threw some decreased attack in there. That's all Michelangelo was there for. He was available, and our friend Leo wasn't. It could have been literally any damage dealer. And then I threw I like the extra crit damage, right? I get the extra damage from Mad Hatter, and that's just nice to have access to. We have a speed lead that you also have because I just used Ezio here. The speed lead you should have 5 stars on. It also comes with a decreased defense. We're trying to keep the defense down and hit hard. We've got 3 different decreased defense, a poison activator, a destroy, 2 different destroy HP, and you can't heal. And as long as you got that, Isheth is the easiest. All you need is that she can't heal, and you will win this. The extra tools just make it easier. We have 2 more to look at. One of these was a nightmare, and I straight up got lucky. Not even gonna pretend. And then we'll look at the final boss. So we have the hell. Oh, that's the new area. We have this is the guy that drove me crazy. This is Taraz, the Bestial Flame. He puts burn and then block active skills. And block active skills is a freaking nightmare. Block active skills is what made him so hard. And then he counter attacks and gets a shield all the time. And it's not showing me who I used to beat him because, of course, it isn't. Um, so he doesn't. He's immune to decreased speed. He's immune to all this stuff. He's immune to burn. Enemies under burn receive way more damage for each instance of burn. So as long as your guys are burned, he's not getting extra things. So you have to be under burn. Um, Yeah, he was a giant nightmare to beat. Just straight up a giant nightmare. He became what was ultimately a damage rush. Um, I said he can't heal, and I kept removing his buffs, and I kept removing my burns as best I could, and I just got lucky. He was straight up, I mean this very seriously, damage race, the damage raciest damage race that we've ever damage raced with. It took forever. It was a giant pain in the butt to beat him, and it was just like run the right guys and hit and heal, hope for the best. Go fast, hit hard. There was no like big deep strategy. I really wish it just showed my champions. It's very 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 annoying that it's not. Best teams, land ranks. Oh, it does have my team here. So I used the heal reduction, I used the speed, and then I used Glycade as a buffer, right? And then I said, okay, I've got counterattacks, and then I used a mythic. Sorry, it was a damage race, and I just stuck a bunch of bombs on him, and eventually Commodus stayed alive long enough. He couldn't heal because of Venomage. Venomage is like the MVP of this whole freaking arena. Just for the record, I used Venomage, and then I went fast. I put poison. I counterattacked. I won eventually. It worked. It was not easy, but it happened. You can see that my alliance also was able to finish it in more turns. I was the fastest of the three that have done this so far. But we used Hilvi for some freeze stuff. Not immune to freeze. Oh, that's what I did. I actually now remember. I feel like an idiot. The way I did it was Glycade has a freeze on his A1, and I was able to get a couple freezes off. If you get those freezes off, and then I stuck bombs on him, and then because he was frozen, I just sort of attacked and waited for bombs to explode, and then the bombs eventually killed him. And as long as he couldn't heal because of the Venom Age, we were good. It was poison bombs go. So that's what I did. Okay. So Darth Kramer used freeze, decrease attack, and then the power of Farcane with his group attack. So you're getting multiple attacks, 2 team attacks from that. And then, look, everyone used a mythic. I don't know what to tell you. This is the hardest of them by a lot. Torres was a nightmare. He is, again, going to be like, he's going to be the one that you're just going to be like, oh my God, I got to get through this guy. Where's our last 300? Is this the last 300? This is, right? Haha. This is the last one. Okay. So I used another team. This was not like brain surgery. The idea here was to beat Maximus the Weeping Blade. We had to increase the duration of all. He increased the duration of debuff, activates poison. He puts poison sensitivity. The real thing he does is there's a poison cloud buff on him that makes everything a weak hit, and when he gets weak hit, he absolutely wrecks you. So you need to remove his buffs basically immediately, or place a block buffs on him. I didn't have anyone with a block buffs available. I could have, but I didn't have that. So instead, I burnt the poopies off him. I used my assassins for the burn, um, and then I used Shredder and Ezio and Mad Hatter to say you don't get buffs, and then I just messed with his buffs and hit him hard. Um, the Xenomorph is really strong against Poison and Smite, and please note he's a speed champion, so I was able to take in a couple of. I don't. That's not speed. I just call it speed. I call the Green Lightning speed. I don't know why, but I was able to use Magic Champions, 2 Magic Champions to take him out. Hatter I didn't want to use, but I felt like I had no choice. My alliance has had much much more success because again Ezio is really really great here because Ezio will once more say you don't have the thing. We have block buffs where everyone's using the Xenomorph, so hopefully we got the Xenomorph right. And then we have Mikey here for some decreased attack. We have Tahanarak. If you have Tahanarak with the block buffs is incredible. She's one of my most wanted champions. I didn't use a code when I started the game, and I want Tahanarak so very bad. So badly might be the way to place that. Excuse me, hair in my mouth. Yeah. And then we just have Rector Draft to heal for this team. So we're just going to do the damage. Again, Ezio is a beast if you have it. We got a couple turtles from Darth Kramer. Hi, Kramer. And then just some heals and then mythics. And we're not going to go over the mythics because that's not like a repeatable thing. But you get the idea here, right? We see what we're doing for Maximov and beating it. We're going to say we need to remove that poison cloud. As long as we remove the poison cloud, we should have enough damage to do the thing. Just hit him hard, fast. Don't let him breathe. You'll be okay. Finally, we are on to our final boss, Leshun. Leshun is a pain in the butt, but honestly, the easiest of all of them. As long as you kill the other 4, he's even easier than our friend at the start. You just burn Leshun down, right? he's gonna entangle you. You're gonna lose some champions as he entangles you, and he's gonna remove his debuff. So you have to keep like burning him over and over again, and keep hitting him over and over again. He's going to like the enemy but that gets entangled is going to suffer, right? So you can block that, but oh, you can't resist or block. You're just gonna get hit with it, I guess. Fine. So be it. He's also gonna place a bunch of True Fear. He's gonna decrease damage if he's not under a burn debuff by 60%. Um, you gotta burn him. You just gotta burn him. You keep a burn on him, and you say he can't heal. Cool. You keep a burn on him, and you say he can't heal. So again, Venom Mage, the real MVP, and then I stuck 2 burners in. Occasionally, I like the damage and the speed lead, and I wanted a heal, so I stuck those in there. I was trying to keep my Geomancer and my Venomage alive as much as possible. Eventually, one of them died, and a big hit from Ezio was able to finish it. But like this one is incredibly easy. You need Venomage and Geomancer. Venomage and Geomancer are the true MVPs of Grim Forest. Hopefully, you take them in and you conquer Grim Forest. That's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with another raid video. Peace.